The whole micro camper thing is more than a solution for some homeless people. It's a solution for people in abusive relationships. Whether the person being abused is male or female, whether the person doing the abusing is male or female. And for lots of different reasons, which we don't have time to get into today, there are more women than men being employed in certain industries in certain parts of the planet, Portland, Oregon being one of them, where you can go down the street and see women driving brand new hybrid vehicles and see more men seemingly on some sort of a substance because they seemingly have no place in today's society. And you do see a lot more younger men that are on the edge because, well, there are less jobs in today's society, and there are still managers out there, both male and female, that prefer to have a girl who's straight out of high school working for them because they're pleasurable to look at. They're easy on the eyes. And that's really how things are. And so you have an increase in the amount of men that for whatever reason don't have enough money or aren't working or their jobs have been eliminated, and they're living with women who are calling the shots. They're laying down the rules of the house, and they're making demands. You have to cook for me, you have to clean for me, you have to clean my dirty laundry, you have to please me emotionally, and you have to play counselor. If I'm angry, I'm going to project it onto you. If you're happy, I'm going to take it away from you. And there's a lot of people that live like this. And the guy that invited me here, east of Oregon, is living like that. And so I'm an inspiration to him, even though he's the guy that helped me, because I need a few days away from Portland every now and then. We did the electrical on the trailer, and we did some other things, and I'm going to be leaving here in a couple of hours. I'm going back to Portland before there's a problem, because there is a problem. The girlfriend is afraid that I'm going to influence him. She's never said this. It's clear he knows her energy, and I know that energy. I've already heard her yell at him. I've already heard her bash him, and I've already heard him plead in a moment of frustration, "Leave me alone! Why are you doing this?" And I understand that pain. People shouldn't be abused by others in relationships. You know what my view on relationships are, that most relationships are about control. It's about the master-slave relationship. It's about the master-slave dichotomy. Now, we can live outside that box, but most people don't. And really, the reason the world is the way that it is because of the imbalance in the male-female relationship, friendship. And there should be more friendships between men and women, but there aren't enough men and women on the planet that are evolved enough to go beyond their biological code to fuck, fight, or run away, flight. And those primal inclinations, to do battle, to run away, or to procreate, and it's not just fight or flight, it's fight, flight, or fuck. There's a third one, there's a third F that's never referred to. When we operate outside of that, then there's friendship. Then we're brothers and sisters. But for most people, especially in these urban environments, it's just the 3 Fs, not the 2 Fs. Fuck, flight, or fight. We need to be able to differentiate between our higher self and our lower self. So, relationships should not be about someone abusing someone else and getting theirs because their daddy touched them when they were 10, 11, or 12. Okay, it's really fucked up what some daddies are alleged to have done to their daughters. But I also know there's plenty of good fathers out there that have never once molested their daughters, and there's no real reason why some women should be abusing some men the way that they are. For some of them, it's just a reaction to the world the way that it is, and they think that this is a war, this is a gender war. So we have to constantly be at each other. Somebody's got to be on top. There can't just be an equal playing field for all of us. And so the micro-camper concept is something that men out there that are capable of building something for themselves, you can have this here, and it can be some sort of a deal breaker. Either the abuse ends or I leave. And women should be able to say that. They should be able to stand up and say that to a man who's abusing them. And hopefully there are women out there that will think about maybe bringing some platonic male friendships into their life in case they have to turn to someone for help. It makes no sense for people to think that their iPhone 666 is supposed to be their lifeline to protection. Okay? That's just giving the government more power. And the governments of the world hold a monopoly on protection, and it's called 911. Okay? But we're brothers and sisters. More than, in the sense that we're all part of the human family. We have an innate desire to feel a sense of family and community. And so I think that we need to change the way that we look at each other. And that's going above primal self, whether we're attracted to each other or whether we're repelled by each other, and we start seeing other men and women as potential friends and allies. And that is a solution for women that are in a scary situation where they may not be able to leave without calling 911. But what about calling some of your male friends for that moment where you need to declare your dependence? And if you're a good woman, I'm sure there's plenty of communities out there that will open their arms to you, but I know that there's not enough, and I think that we need to develop more safe places for men and women in this day and age. You know my views on things, ladies and gentlemen. I won't get long-winded here. There's no hope, there's no life, there's no sustainability in thinking depending on the government to protect us or shelter us. We're living in dense population centers. None of that has anything to do with sustainability. If a 80-year-old woman can do it, a 30-year-old woman can do it. Saying things like, if I go and I leave the grid, I'm going to get raped, I need to stay in the concrete jungle. That makes no sense, and in a way is a contradiction, because in some of these concrete jungles, they're becoming some of the least safe places to live. And if you want to look at the stats, that's what you're going to find, especially if they're a gun-free zone. So I want people to think about things differently. The micro-camper isn't really about being a hobo or, you know, a solution to end all homelessness. It's really a solution for some people to some circumstances, but what it really is a backup. You build something like this and you have it in your backyard and it's sitting there and someone starts going crazy on you, you can just point to that thing and go, you know what? I can leave right now. Is this what you're trying to do? Because everything's packed up and it's ready to go. If there's violence involved, you really should be leaving no matter what. You shouldn't be forgiving someone that strikes out at you, be they male, be they female. And no man should stay with a woman who's making threats saying that they'll get the police involved and they'll make things up if the man does a leaving. And that shit happens all the time in this society. If there are warning signs in your relationship, you need to leave early. Having a micro camper in your backyard that you worked on in your spare time will be something that could help you exit a very bad situation. Micro campers are a solution to abusive relationships, and they can allow someone a way out, whether the victim or the one receiving the abuse is male or female. Thank you for watching.